guys, welcome back here to the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys coming by the channel and check the video out. And guys, today we're going to be talking about one of the oldest and most productive soft plastic creature baits of all time, and that's the Zoom Brushog, the full-size Zoom Brushog. This is sort of like the original creature bait. This thing has been catching fish for decades now, and what I want to do in today's video is lay out the situation when a full-size Brushog is the bait you want to throw. There's a lot of different situations to throw soft plastic lures or jigs, and knowing how to narrow that window down, it takes a little bit of experience in fishing to know what the best lure category and profile is as far as pitching and flipping bait. So we're going to get into that in today's episode here. And also guys, I will put my Zoom Brushog link in the description of this video. If you guys would like to pick up some brush hogs, using that link through Tackle Warehouse of mine is a good way to support the channel. Appreciate that. And guys, also real quick, just want to let you guys know that Solar Bat has got this huge May sale on my signature series, RB2s and 3s, 40% off during the month of May, guys, 40% off. And you get free shipping and handling if you use the promo code RandyB. So I'll have the Solar Bat link in the description of this video if you guys would like to get a pair of my signature series glasses, so appreciate that. Okay, guys, I can't remember how long this bait's been out, but I know it's been since the mid to late 90s. The Zoom Brushog has been out forever. There was, I remember one, God, it's probably been like 1995. The thing has been out forever. I know one FLW tournament that was one on Lake Okeechobee in the late 90s. So it's stood the test of time. And if you're not familiar with it, guys, it's sort of a crazy looking bait. It's got a tubular body. It's got the two wings here. It's got the big flapping tails, and then you've got the curly tails on the back of it. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of whatever it is, guys. It appeals to the bass. I mean, it appeals to them tremendously in terms of like just the profile and size with it. So a couple different tips I want to give you. Then we'll talk about the situations you want to fish it in. First of all, let's talk about the slip sinker. There's all types of different scenarios as far as how much penetration or how fast you want the bait to fall. But for most part, for me, guys, when I'm using a brush hog, I want a 3/16 ounce sinker. It falls pretty slow, and it falls fast enough to get everything moving, yet it's a slow falling bait. And out of all of the sinkers that I have used, I get more bites on a 3/16 sinker than any other size. And if you're pitching and flipping like some thicker stuff, you may have to go up in size a little bit, but I've still caught a lot of fish like flipping bushes, even with a 3/16. The bass just love it. So I'd highly suggest going with a 3/16 ounce sinker with it. And I've just got this EWG hook in there, but most of the time, guys, I do use a straight shank, a Gamakatsu hook on my brush hogs here, usually like a 4/0. Now, a couple different modifications I want to show you that I do to it before we get into where you want to fish it. First of all, I free up these legs here to get them flapping a little bit. A lot of people leave them like that. And then a lot of times I'll take the flapper here and I'll serrate it with some scissors. It just gives it a little bit better action, or a little bit better look in my opinion. So I'll just separate them like that on both sides. Just sort of a confidence thing. I've heard some guys doing this, for years, especially the guys that use this as a football head jig trailer. And by the way, guys, a full-size Zoom brush hog, if you pinch it off about halfway up, it's an excellent football head jig trailer. It's also a good Carolina rig bait if you've never done that. But for the most part, I'm going to be pitching and flipping the Zoom brush hog. Now, most of the time, I'm flipping and pitching it on 25-pound test Seaguar and BizX line with that 3/16 sinker. So let's talk a little bit about when you want to use it. Now, in bass fishing, if you go to like a retail tackle shop, there are so many different soft plastics and so many different options that it's like, how do you even know where to start? And then when you're out fishing, how do you know if they want a brush hog? How do you know if they want a jig? How do you know if they want some type of like a beaver? How do you know if they want a curly-tailed plastic worm, a straight-tailed plastic worm? You sort of have to gauge with something to begin with as far as, where to start at. So here is the windows that I have found where a brush hog works pretty good. For me, when I'm pitching and flipping a brush hog, it's all about the water temperature. And I have found in my own fishing that a brush hog will work really good when the water temperature is like between, say, 60 and 75 degrees, in that range. Now that can be 65 and 70 degrees. That can be sometime like in, March, April, May, early part of June, or that can be, during that temperature frame in the fall time of the year. By far the best time to fish a brush hog, and I've caught more bass on it than any other time of year, is like sort of that mid-April into early June time frame. Sort of like when those fish are on the tail end of spawning and they start getting into the post-spawn phase. Now we're talking about pitching it and flipping it. I don't know what it is about it. It's like once that water temperature gets over 75 degrees, like in the summer months, they don't bite it as good for me. I don't catch near as many fish on it. Sometimes I'll have to downsize like to the baby brush hog or something like a Z hog or a straight tail plastic worm. But bass love a full-size brush hog in the month of May specifically. May is the best time of year to fish a full-size brush hog. Has to do with a lot of factors we probably don't understand. This is the metabolism and the mood of the fish, but that's the general thing about it. Now, in terms of water clarity and cover, that's another consideration for it. A Zoom brush hog will work in a wide range of water clarities, but I have found in my own experience that the range of clarity for a brush hog, it works best in water visibility from about 1 to 3 feet. Now, I have caught them in a little bit more stained water, and I have caught them in a little bit cleaner water, but 1 to 3 feet is a really good zone for that. And there's a lot of different color options out there. My favorite color is probably watermelon candy. I like straight watermelon too. I like green pumpkin, obviously, is really good. But if you could give me one color, it would be a watermelon candy. I've caught more on that color than probably any other color, even over green pumpkin. Now, one thing that about a full-size brush hog that I do not do is I don't use many dark colors on it, because it is such a large bait that if you try to go with like a June bug or some type of a black and blue or black neon or something like that, it really stands out unbelievable. I mean, it's almost a little bit overwhelming in my opinion to the fish. So I stay with the natural colors, even in off-colored water. It's like if the water visibility is 12 inches, I'll put that watermelon candy or a green pumpkin on and dye the tail chartreuse. Seems to work pretty good for me on that situation. I have not done that good on a dark color, but if you can get one, guys, just get a couple packs of that watermelon candy through my Tackle Warehouse link and you'll be good to go on that. If the water visibility is closer to like 3 feet, like on the clear end of it, I'll go to like maybe the watermelon with red flake. And then, like I said, you can't go wrong with the green pumpkin and all those situations with it. Cover that you fish on it, it can be whatever that you're fishing. One thing about a full-size brush hog, it doesn't work that good in extremely shallow water. Let's say, for example, you're fishing dirty water and the water depth is like, the cover is in like 1 to 2 foot of water. It doesn't seem to work really good in that super, super shallow water. It seems like I do better pitching and flipping a brush hog sort of in that 2 to 5 foot zone. It's probably the size of the bait more than anything else. A lot of times if you're flipping that really, really shallow water, the fish, since it's so shallow, the fish react better to a little smaller bait, like a baby brush hog or something. But the full-size one, my best scenario with it is flipping and pitching it around some type of cover. I've done good on flooded bushes. I've done good in lily pads. I've done good in submergent grass. I've done good in lay down trees and docks. And especially if that cover's in 3 to 5 foot of water. Another thing about a full-size brush hog, guys, it's really, really a good bait if you're fishing around some type of vegetation, like cattails and reeds and lily pads and, grass that's just under the water, gator grass. I've caught a lot of fish using that. And obviously, if you're using it on like a Carolina rig or a football head jig, you're normally fishing offshore a little bit. But it catches good ones. I mean, a brush hog is one of those baits that can compete with a jig as far as the size of the fish that it catches, simply because it is a big bait. But even though a brush hog is a big bait, it's a bait that you can get a lot of bites on. I mean, I've had a lot of like 25 and 30 fish days on a full-size brush hog, so it appeals to a lot of different size of fish. So anyway, guys, hope it helps you guys out. Like I said, I'll put that link in the description if you want to try some, and we'll check in later.